Hello viewers, and welcome back to Command Modern Air/Naval Operations. I'm your host, PPGChu, once again, and well, today we're playing one more air scenario, and this one is, well, from the community scenario pack here, and, just a bit of a refresher for this game. Obviously, going off of the title, this is a game about, air and the planning of air and naval operations. It's a pretty in-depth game featuring units from all the way back from 1950 up until, present day. The game comes with right around 40 or so scenarios, and you can download the community, pack, which bumps that up to right around the 180/200 zone. So, it's a very all-encompassing game. There's a ton of detail there, and overall it's just a very fascinating type of experimental, where, not necessarily a sandbox, but definitely a simulation environment. That's just a lot of fun to play around with, to discover the capabilities, all this stuff. So last time we've already done two very simple scenarios, so I figured we'd do something slightly more advanced. Today we're playing a scenario that's apparently also actually used in real world, exercises or real-world simulations, if that makes any sense. So COMAO training transport day. Our objective for the day is to hypothetically, we're escort a transport plane outside, rather to and from a area of operations, and in the process, we're given a limited aircraft with various different types of weaponry and different types of abilities, and we're really just supposed to combine all of these different crafts with different strengths and weaknesses into an effective, combat force. So that's that. I figured we'd just load up the scenario, play through it, and see how this works well. So, I've already read this briefing. You can check it out if you'd like. The main thing from this is that we're supposed to grab our craft, our forces, assign a few, patrols and all, and what we want to do is that we want to pretty much just ferry some troops in and out of the contact point zone here. Our enemies will be launching, once again, it's a hypothetical scenario, so we're fighting in Spain from broken AB, and the fight will be pretty much just centered around this location. So, once again, we want to unpause the game for a second or two, let the game time run and do its thing. So there we go. So that should load up anything that was missing otherwise. And it looks like we have two radar installations and a main operating base. Our enemy has one thing, and we don't know whether or not they have anything else out there. So, our transport plane should launch on its own, so there's currently one mission, land at LZ for this thing, at an appropriate time, and, all we're supposed to do is just cover that plane to and from the site, and just let it do its thing. So, what should I do now? What should we do? How should we approach this mission? Let's start off by checking out what we have for aircraft back at base. So over here we have 13 planes currently available, though we should have a few more as the mission continues. It looks like we have a lot of these F-18 Hornets. Some of these are anti-air, armed with these AIM missiles and ARAM missiles. Some of these ones have these harm missiles and some cluster bombs and such like that, and some of these are armed with land strike capabilities, and some of these aren't ready yet, but these are also armed with those harm missiles and those guided bombs as well. These harm missile ones, they're for suppression of enemy air defenses, and these guided bombs are more so just for land strikes, if you will. And AA obviously for AA. We have a few of these C-130s, which are transport planes. We technically only need one of them, but we have three of them just because. I'm guessing they might factor into the delivery of whatever we're supposed to transport as the mission goes on. And we also have a few we have a few tankers as well, and we also have a surveillance plane that's kind of a mobile radar type of thing. So let's get a few mission points going here. Let's get a few planes out there and pretty much just running. So first and foremost, we know that this area over here is where we want to start the mission off, or rather where we want the mission to go from. But what I think I'll do right now is that I'm going to designate an area that's going to be a no-fly zone, and that is effectively everything that I will assume that the enemy already has control of. And yeah, inside the mission blurb there, one of the things that it'll say is that near the enemy's base, rather the closer you get to the enemy's base here, the more anti-air he has. And with that said, I figured we'd make something like that. It's kind of just a wall that'll stop our pilots from wandering into whatever they have over there, and that'll be more so of yeah, just a big curtain to stop our guys to go through that area. So that's that. I'm going to deselect all those points so they don't bother us in the future. And I'm going to add another defined area. This one is going to be right over here inside the back. These ones I'm going to add a new mission with. It's going to be a support mission called Refuel. And we're going to assign our tanker plane to that. We have two tanker planes. One is ready now, one is ready later. But we'll assign one here for now. But the catch with it is that we're gonna bump up the activation time up by 2 hours. So that mission isn't going to be ready, or isn't going to be enacted until later in the day. And this is because I would imagine that all of our planes start out with a maximum amount of fuel. So chances are is that we won't use that anytime soon. But it's nice to have already pre-plotted just for use. So that takes care of that. Now let's see what we can do inside this area in particular. So we already have refuel done. In that case, let's define another area around this contact point, and this is going to be quite a broad area. This one, actually, I think we'll make these two outer points closer. This one is going to be for another support mission. And this is one that's going to be an early warning system, something like that. And we're going to assign our other ELNT Boeing to that plan, and this will just do its thing. It'll just buzz about and hopefully give us some detection inside that area. So that pretty much commits a fair amount of our guys. This thing over here, I was reading up about it because I wasn't necessarily sure what it was exactly, but this Boeing over here, what it does is that it doesn't have any weapons or anything like that, but it has a full suite of these different sensors, making it quite invaluable. First and foremost, it has generic weather and navigation, all that. It has a visual system which allows it to observe things from slightly farther away than, say, with your eyeballs and all. But the main thing is that it has two systems that function up until 800 nautical miles on optimal, if you will, out, that searches for air targets as well as ground targets. And with that said, it's pretty invaluable, so we'll keep that up in the air, and we'll keep that doing its thing over here. So that's the general route up inside this region. And to chain off these different reference points, I'm going to add a few more here, just around this contact point. And I'm going to select all of these, and I'm going to assign these to a area where we have a patrol of fighters doing their thing. So we're going to name this CP Patrol. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to grab a nice set of 4 of these FAA Hornets, and we want them to just come inside that area, and we just want them to take a look at whatever is buzzing around over there. So they'll do exactly that, and after some time, our planes are going to get up in there and be on their way to those sites soon enough. And afterwards, that'll be pretty much just that. So these guys are taking off, or they're getting ready to take off. 2 seconds, 1 second, there we go. There they are. And that should just get the entire train of planes going here. So our guys will just gradually go towards those sites and gradually do their things. So with these Hornets in particular, these guys are armed with their own radar system here, the AN-APG-85, and to the best of my knowledge, these are kind of they're more so directional radar. And with that said, what they'll try to do here is that everything inside that yellow cone they'll search. You'll notice that it's only, of course, in front of the aircraft, but what they'll do is that they'll just search that area for contact marks, and if they find anything, we will, of course, be alerted to it, and that is obviously quite helpful. So that is pretty much just that. This plane is running its things, and that is pretty much just going, and doing its thing. Right, so looks like these fighters will actually I'm thinking about scaling back the timer for when we launch the tankers, because it looks like they only have 2 hours and exactly 2 hours of fuel. But I think we'll just leave it for now. I mean, either way, once the tanker comes out, they'll try to refuel from it before they try to go back to base. So with that said, I'm not too terribly worried about that. Right, so either way, these guys are going to come over here, they'll do their thing, and they'll just gradually check out this area. And I'll just try to keep these, this area locked down. I'm just going to move these two markers because they seem to be in different places than I had intended them to be, but there we go. So get something like that set up, and these guys will just passively do their thing. So now, what we should probably, what these guys are effectively doing is that they're relaying us a lot of information, and we'll let them continue to do that, and I'll speed up the game for that purpose, because, oh, actually, would you look at that, they managed to find something. So that's what I wanted to start to do. So we found a few targets, and we found a radar installation, apparently all the way back over here, or actually no, inside this red cone, so that's quite a large area. Either way, we're starting to see targets, so that is very, very good. And with that said, our guys have acknowledged that these things might be, points of interest, and they are trying to, go towards them within boundaries, of course, because they can't enter this no navigation zone. And with that said, oh, would you look at that? They found a MiG-29 Fulcrum, which is, well, obviously quite the target, and they are going to engage that. I see a few other planes here. I think we know by this point that those are hostile, so we'll mark them hostile just like that, and, hopefully our guys will start to engage them soon enough. So, our guys are starting to sling off missiles, some of these AIM-120Bs, and these things very high probability to hit compared to what we were playing with last time. So, very, very good. And we'll see what happens here. 4 planes will close in. Looks like they've launched, I want to say 2 missiles for both of these contacts. These are going to go in here. Soon enough, we'll probably get air or visual confirmation of these guys. But nevertheless, these projectiles are going in. And, oh, let's see what happened. Miss. Closing in, firing a few more, a second volley. And, oh, looks like we got the bogey. So, we got the second plane, which I'd assume was another MiG. And we're closing down on the actual identified one. They're shooting back, they fired one of their missiles. And, oh, we're still skirmishing off with this guy. They're also launching their own vampires at us. but we'll see. Looks like this guy's closing in. He's actually, well, no, this guy's, yeah, engaged defensive, so he's going to try to avoid those two vampires as best as he can. Looks like the first one missed entirely. The second one, I don't know what happened to it, but it's gone, so I'm glad for that. Current missiles are going to, just go by. Yeah. Those are also going to dodge it. And he managed to get two more out. Let's see, one of them. We lose. Our guys are just going to barely scrape this zone. I'm going to peel this back because we haven't met any ground targets so far, and I'm fine if they chase this guy, seeing as how that lone Fulcrum is in a very, very bad position. There you go. So they managed to take that up. Yeah, so they managed to take that out, so that's quite nice. Checking out their payloads, looks like March over 2 here is starting to run out of projectiles, so we're going to give him the order to head back to base and get nice and safed up just like that. And the other 3 planes will just continue patrolling. Right, so that's the first portion of the brawl here. I'm going to see what I can do about speeding the game up, because there's quite a lot of lag going on over here right now. And it looks like I'm going to ghost reference points and buoys right now. I don't really need them. Actually, this one, I remember, it has to be on normal, so we're going to do that. The main thing is that, yeah, we managed to take down those targets. That's good. Found another contact over here. And, found a SAM battery inside the no-fly zone. So that's nice to know. And the thing about this game is that from the SAM battery, this SAM battery, I believe it's able to target everything inside this white circle. But the thing is that it makes the assumption that if you try to hit something on the very edge of that circle, no, that is their radar zone. My mistake. Where is it now? Yeah, that's their radar zone. Never mind. Their actual combat zone seems to be only 20 or so nautical miles. Is that right? Yeah, their maximum detection radius seems to be 54. Yeah, and their IHawk rockets seem to be able to only hit 22. So with that said, I select the thing and I look at this villa nuke place. That's 63 away, so I'd assume, yeah, that white circle is their observation range. So that's nice to know, because our guys' patrols is just outside of that, and their firing range is only less than half of that. So that so we're cleared from that SAM battery. We do have a wide variety of different what am I trying to say here? Seed aircraft as well, so we could also send them there. Marty 2 is heading back to base. And I'm gonna go back into that mission editor. We've already seen some hostiles out here, so I think I'll assign a few more planes to investigate, or to patrol just in case. Right. So I think that's the end of this. The first engagement here. Our guys are gonna go back onto their patrol routes. They'll do their thing, and they spotted another mobile signature. And they're back on the chase for something else. Let's see. What are they chasing? From this, they've classified, I'm reading off the message log, which is on my second screen. They've classified one of their targets as a SAM. That one is much closer, so we might want to take a look at striking that thing. And they've found 2 more bogeys, identified them as MiG-21 Fulcrum. So we have 2 more, and it looks like that we are going offensive once again with missiles, and we're starting to, lay the smack on them. So hopefully we'll be able to pick off both of them on the first run here, I hope. And no, 1 missile missed, 2 missile missed, 3 missed. 4 missed. Damn. Let's get this, let's see whether or not I can do this. It's going to be very cluttered, but this is the message log. It's showing that the offensive jammer on those MiGs are starting to fire off. A lot of their sensors, mind you, or rather a lot of their ECM fails, but hey, once they succeed, they disable the missile, of course. So that is pretty much just that. Some more of these guys coming in. And there we go. Got one of their Falcons. Ooh, but... oh, actually. That Falcon managed to slug out a missile just before it died, but looks like something jammed it or something happened. Either way, that's 2 more dead. So that's good. And ooh, underneath all of the contrails of our own missiles, it had 2 active. But those were disabled, so that's good. Yeah, depending on the different weapon types, and I think the game does account for this, depending on how the weapon actually works in real life, so for example, if the plane needs to actively direct it or so, it will actually function like that. So I'd imagine that those vampire missiles, whatever they were, they couldn't, like, say, go on after the plane itself, or after the launcher has been dispatched, if you will. So that's quite nice. Those things are now gone, and our planes can resume their flights. I'm going to check on our guys. They still have a nice selection of AIM 2s, or AIM 2000s, so we'll let them to continue do their things. Now that we've identified some of these SAM batteries, though, what I think I'll do is that I'll select this one right here, the one that's outside the exclusion zone, and I'm going to launch a land strike against it, and we'll call this Seed. And the reason, or rather the idea being that we have some of these Toros armed with those HARM missiles once again. So with that said, we'll send them in. They're armed with suppression, anti-radiation missiles, and cluster bombs. So they make optimal candidates for this. We'll send them in and see how they go in dropping some payloads on there. And would you look at that? The 2 reinforcement fighters I had sent for are starting to arrive. We got this green line drawn towards the target, so I'd imagine the Seed flight has also been started, so that's good. And the battle continues. There's a whole lot of sensors going all over the place here. Ooh. That SAM battery seems to be moving inside the back there. I wasn't actually aware that land units can actually move inside this game. But either way, we'll see. Or that might just be because we're starting to lose radar contact with that thing. And with that said, it seems like it's bobbling about, just given the erratic nature of that contact. Something along the lines of that. Alright, doesn't look like there's any more, yeah, it doesn't look like there's any more targets there, so that's nice to know. Seed strike is coming in. This Boeing is still searching this area. And what I think I'll do right now is, I'm going to do a quick check. I want to move this Boeing in closer to the contact point, because that's really the area that we had to scan for. So with that said, let's get it to do a zigzag pattern right above this area, just something like that. Right, so there. And oh, our two Seed Hornets have already launched their missiles over here. So these are the harm ones. They have a lock on the IHawks based off of radar signatures and all. So shortly we should see some hits. And there we go. The whole volley comes in here, and let's see what has happened through all of this. A lot of them have air bursted all around those targets. If you remember, I think the top number over here, that 9, used to be a 12, so I believe we got 3 of those things. Either way, those people must be quite shocked. Our guys are coming in. We're starting to get some contacts on something. Oh, we've identified, I believe this is, what is this exactly? This is apparently a mechanized infantry group on Bradleys. So I think that's more so of a generic marker for red forces inside the area, and that might be something that we want to deal with shortly enough. But for now, these guys, the SAM battery. So they should be, at the very least, quite shaken up by those AGM missiles and all. And yeah, those were air bursts though. They weren't direct hits. But then again, I believe the Hawk launcher is really just like from Wargame Red, from Wargame Red Dragon and all. Those things look like more so of a truck with like 3 missiles on the back, so I guess you don't really need to hit it directly. If you blow up right next to it, probably will do a good amount of damage, or disable it for the purposes of 1 hour or 11 hours really. More guys are coming in over here. Oh, lots of vampire missiles being fired off from something. Oh, and those are on Toro too, so it looks like something over here is fighting back. In that case, the SAM battery might still be active. Ooh. Yeah, one of those planes have gone down. That is rather unfortunate. Now, if only the second one can make it through here. But we're not detecting the missiles, mind you, beforehand, so they must be, I don't think they're coming from the battery in that case. They might have. But either way, this one's going to go right across it. It's going to drop those bombs. There we go. Red cluster bombs are out. Those are going to disperse, and that is going to like pretty much cover the entire area, and that's going to get 2 more IHawks. So overall, that is still nevertheless pretty good. And this plane in here is just going to return to base, which is quite nice. So yeah, unfortunately we did lose one there. But I want to say that the SAM battery is fairly weakened by it, which would be quite nice. We did get a nice selection of, I want to say, 5 vehicles, so nevertheless, we'll press forwards. Likewise, we're going to deal with another land strike. We'll call this 2, and we'll get the GBU armed Toros over here to come through and to take out the mechanized infantry unit here. It looks like there's a few man pads over here and some other AA weapons. So we'll hit that. That's not a problem for our fighters inside the area, but if the transport plane needed to go around there, that is quite the hazard. So we'll try to keep that area clear. And that'll be that. Now, looks like those bombers are in the air as well, and they should be coming by shortly. Now currently the time is just right above 7. As soon as it turns 7, the cargo plane, the C-130, should be launched, and that should come over into this area to pick up those guys. So we'll see what happens to that. And that's when the mission, I guess, truly begins, where we have to, start escorting that thing back to base and all. But luckily, we should have more aircraft readied by in the meantime, when they start to leave this area. So that is that. So we'll see, though. Alright, so let's put this back down to 5 seconds. These guys are coming in with the bombs, with guided bombs. And they're carrying 4 of those guided bombs. So not a lot compared to the amount of targets inside that mechanized group. I'd prefer it if they took down the air targets first, but at this point, I don't think we have too much control over it. And for these individual craft over here, let's get them to refuel. I'm going to take a few of them off of the patrol duty, and I'm going to get them to refuel. So that way we don't have the problem of a whole ton of planes refueling at one time. And we'll see when they do that. Wow, these guys are really coming in for that bomb drop. Oh, there we go. They're dropping their bombs, and damn. Once again, these short-range launches, though, those things are really beating us back. That's kind of strange, though. They usually launch from much farther away, but nevertheless, I think we got a nice bomb drop onto them. Hit, yeah, we got a few of their AA guns and things. So, that is pretty much that. Right, so I think that is, so I think we'll end the video here. Next time we'll resume and continue the mission where we, where we leave off today here. So, with that said, I think I'll see you guys there in the future. And with that said, bye-bye for now.